If you like to paddle in swirly, dynamic water, you should definitely learn to scull. Or if you want to get better at bracing and rolling, you should definitely learn to scull. In this video, I am referring to layback sculling, which some folks call sculling for support. Now, you can find a lot of information out there on sculling, but most of it speaks to the use of sculling as it pertains to bracing. I just didn't find much content that emphasized the link between sculling and getting good at rolling. I think sculling is a really vital skill for getting good at layback rolls, as it will teach you how to put your body into the perfect position for recovery to the back deck. So let's get into it. Sculling involves moving the paddle back and forth in an arc across the surface of the water. It's a continuous paddle movement. Think spreading butter on toast. When you move the paddle across the water, the blade angle changes such that the paddle always has a climbing blade angle, whether it's traveling in a sweep stroke or a reverse sweep stroke. The sculling motion provides tremendous lift and support from the paddle, and you can use it to keep the kayak balanced on its chine. You hold the paddle in the high brace position, and both hands are involved in controlling the blade angle as you move the paddle through its sculling arc. Your head should be resting on the water surface and tilted back slightly. Your water leg applies firm and consistent pressure on the thigh brace to help keep the kayak balanced, and both shoulders should be flat on the water. Warren is showing us some key elements of sculling. Watch how he angles his wrists back slightly on the reverse sweep and then angles them forward on the sweep. This maintains a climbing blade angle as he sculls, giving him lift and support to help keep the kayak balanced on the chine. Now, let's watch Sarah as she goes through the learning progression. She had never sculled before, so this was a great opportunity for both of us. Sculling can be tough to learn at first, so it really helps to have someone in the water with you. She is starting with the little foam paddle floats that I made. This float gives her a little bit of extra buoyancy, but still allows her to set and control the blade angle. She starts her sculling stroke before she enters the water. This is a good habit to get into, as it gives you a chance to see whether you have a good climbing angle as you move the paddle through the water. Eventually, you should be able to feel this, but when you're first learning, it's nice to have a visual check. You want to lean back as you enter the water and put your head back. Even though I was telling Sarah to put her head back and on the surface of the water, you can see that she struggles to do it. You should get your sculling shoulder into the water as soon as you can. Sarah does a nice job of getting her right shoulder flat on the water, but her left shoulder is a bit high. This makes it a little harder to float her upper body on the surface of the water as she sculls. I try not to say too much. I am just letting Sarah feel out the scull. She's doing better. Let's talk about the water leg. Here, it's Sarah's right leg. We call this the water leg because it's the one closest to the water when Sarah has the kayak leaned over. The water leg should be applying steady pressure in the thigh brace, and the hip is also part of this. It can be slightly rotated away from the direction of the kayak lean. In this case, Sarah would be rotating her hip a bit to the left. Her left leg, or the non-water leg, should be resting close to the bottom of the kayak. It should never be engaged in the thigh brace when you are sculling. The pressure on the thigh brace from the water leg is what helps to keep the kayak balanced on the chine. Sarah is starting to get the hang of sculling, so I want to teach her how to incorporate sculling into her rolling. Recovering into a scull first, before you recover to the back deck, teaches you so much more about kayak control and awareness of your body and your paddle. As you get better at sculling, I think you will put together how your last sculling stroke is really just the sweep stroke that you would use when recovering from a layback sweep roll. Sculling teaches your body how to be in an excellent position for recovery to the back deck as you complete a roll. And when you are rolling in dynamic water, sculling can be a great way to catch a breath of air if your first roll fails. Maybe you mistimed your roll or the water knocked you back over. You can do a few sculling strokes until you feel that the water is calm enough for you to recover onto the back deck, and your body is already in the right position to complete your roll. Here, Sarah is trying sculling with the Euroblade. The body position and motions are the same, and keeping a climbing blade angle remains critical. Use the power face of the paddle for your sculling. You might just have to work out how to keep the blade that's out of the water from bumping into your kayak, but practice will take care of that. You can see me giving Sarah gentle reminders about body and paddle position as she sculls, but she's doing great. Sarah is going for the roll to a scull, which for me is really what this is all about. Getting good at sculling will make you a better roller. This is Jen doing her roll to sculling before she recovers onto the back deck. I'd say she's got it. Daryl's kayak is rotating here because his reverse sweep stroke is a little stronger than his sweep stroke. This is pretty common when you're learning, and as you get better at sculling, you'll be able to feel if the kayak is rotating and then correct for it by evening out the pressure between your sweep and reverse sweep strokes. Daryl's sculling on his right side, which is his dominant side, is looking great. I really urge you to get good at sculling on both sides of the kayak. It'll be a little harder on your non-dominant side, but don't give up. Here, Daryl is showing us sculling with an unextended paddle. With a Greenland paddle, you can scull with the paddle extended or unextended, whatever you like. If you're coming up from a roll in conditions, it's more likely that you will scull up with the paddle unextended, so play with both. Daryl is showing us a nice roll to scull recovery with an unextended paddle. Okay, everyone, if you really want to get good at sculling, just do what Warren does. Go forth, y'all, and scull and roll and play.